Carbon footprint is defined as the total amount of greenhouse gases produced to directly and indirectly support human activities, usually expressed in equivalent tons of carbon dioxide. We will be investigating the effect of our school's cleaning products, specifically bleach, alpha HP, and our school hand soap, and their effect on our school's carbon footprint. To determine this, we will be performing two experiments. First, we will perform a pH test to determine which cleaning product is most acidic and which is most basic. Then we will perform a titration test to determine the amount of water needed to neutralize these solutions. The materials that you will need to perform the pH test are gloves, a lab apron, goggles, pH strips, well, a test tube rack, 6 test tubes, pipettes, 10 milliliter pipette, 100 milliliter beaker, vinegar, hand soap, alpha HP, and bleach. First, you want to obtain a dry piece of paper towel and label separate sections according to your solutions. Next, you want to use a pipette to dispense about 7 drops of each control solution in each separate well. Now pick up 3 clean pH strips and dip each one into each of the controls for about 10 seconds. Remove the test paper and place it in the correct spot labeled on the paper towel. Once the pH paper has dried, record its color for each control. Now take a pipette and deposit a sample of each testing solution into separate wells. Place 3 new pH strips into each of the solutions. Remove the pH strips from the well and place it under each of the properly labeled slots on the paper towel to dry off. Once the pH strips are dry, record the color of the pH strips of each sample you tested. From the color key that came with the pH paper, identify the approximate pH of each solution. Through our research, we have concluded that acids and bases are equally dangerous depending on the situation, because acids, they cause destruction while giving out positive hydrogen ions. Acids also tend to eat away metals and are corrosive depending on pH. Most bases act through positive hydrogen ions. They eat away organic materials. All living organisms, especially eukaryotic ones, use positive hydrogen ions to maintain the potential ingredients in our cells, such as lipids. Lipids are used to construct the cells of the membranes, which are destroyed by bases. In this case, since we are talking about how the cleaning products are affecting the amount of carbon footprint in the environment, more basic cleaning products will be more harmful because bases tend to destroy the cell membranes of organisms and other potential ingredients within the cells, which relates to everything that lives close to the RM surrounding. Looking at the chart, we could see that bleach is the most basic product, alpha H is the most acidic product, and the hand soap is a neutral product. Since acids and bases will always be more dangerous than neutrals, and the bases tend to be more dangerous to the environment, bleach, therefore, is the most harmful product, while hand soap is the least harmful one. The materials you will need to perform the titration test are a burette clamp, a funnel, a ring stand, 6 Erlenmeyer flasks, 3 graduated cylinders, vinegar, hand soap, alpha HP, bleach, distilled water, and a universal solvent indicator. Make sure the outside of the burette is clean and dry and then mount it securely to a laboratory ring stand using a burette clamp. Then put an Erlenmeyer flask underneath it. Now you want to measure out 4 milliliters of one of your samples in a graduated cylinder and dispense it into the Erlenmeyer flask, and then add 2 drops of the universal solvent indicator as well. Next, using a 50 milliliter beaker of water, fill the burette to the 0 mark. Use a funnel to prevent spillage. The water is a titrant whose concentration is known very accurately and is dispensed by a burette and reacted with the known volume of another solution of unknown concentration called the analyte. Now you want to run some solution through the stopcock to fill the burette tip completely, making sure there are no air bubbles and that the level of solution falls to or below the 0 mark. Then record the starting volume and start adding in the titrant. Keep adding the titrant until the analyte turns green. When the analyte turns green, it signifies that it has been neutralized. When you complete the titration, you will subtract the starting volume from the final volume to determine the amount of solution you have added. Repeat these steps for every control and sample you must test. Studies showed that indoor air concentrations significantly increase during the use of bleach-containing products. A higher concentration equals more production of CO2. The bleach is used to clean the toilets and sinks in Richard Montgomery, which travels down the drainage. Once released into bodies of water, chlorine in the bleach will react with other minerals and elements to produce a series of toxins. These toxins, including dioxin and PCDDs, are often referred to as persistent organic pollutants. These pollutants linger in soil and water and will take years to disappear. Till then, these toxins pollute the microorganisms in the water and continues up the food chain. This also causes air pollution. Some will eventually reach the Earth's atmosphere and the ozone layer, which causes global warming. Alpha HP is used to disinfect floors, walls, and etc., but doesn't disinfect ones with blood or human backup. Alpha HP contains hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide products do not contain carcinogens, which are asthma-causing chemicals, nor do they contain toxic byproducts. The Alpha HP has been considered a greener product by multiple programs and groups, including Green Cleaning Centaur and San Francisco Asthma Task Force. However, since it's a concentrated, ready-to-dilute product, it's more hazardous and not sufficient to control exposure, which may lead to air pollution. It also requires a closed system to dilute. The current hand soap our school is using is called Antibac. Within this hand soap, there is a chemical called triclosan, which disrupts molecular channels in muscle cells that guide the flow of calcium ions. When we wash our hands with this soap, the chemicals go through the sink drainage system. Once released into the water, the chemical will have a chance to disturb fragile ecosystems. It could lead to possible air pollution and climate change, which may destroy ecosystems. In order to reduce the carbon footprint of Richard Montgomery, we can replace the current cleaning products with better ones. Oxivir TB could be used to replace bleach. It is a ready-to-use disinfectant with hydrogen peroxide as an active ingredient, and it is bleach-free. It is registered for the use against bacteria and viruses that cause infectious diseases. It is also less threatening to our respiratory health and less polluting as well. Sanidate is a product that can be used to replace Alpha HP. It is a ready-to-use food contact sanitizer with hydrogen peroxide as an active ingredient. It is also not as hazardous as a disinfectant or bleach. The Reliable Green Choice Foam Hand Wash is a great product to replace the current school hand soap. It contains reduced human and aquatic toxicity. It leans more towards as a non-antibacterial hand soap, which has less triclosan.